A UFC fighter who believes no one can throw a punch the way he does. We talked to Phil Rowe about his career and his family. Also, athletes from Ukraine stay and train in Utah during this difficult time in their country. We sit down with a couple of athletes and coaches from Ukraine to talk about their experiences right now on the Scoreboard. Hey everyone, welcome into the Scoreboard. It is July 15th and the summer just keeps on flying by. Tonight's episode will feature Ukrainian athletes competing in the games, as well as a UFC fighter who is rising the ranks with every knockout. When we come back, we sit down with an athlete and a coach who have been taken in by UOP. What has it been like moving over here to Utah for the summer?
My first time when I come here in Utah is the 2001. When I beat the athletes, and the first time I will come here with the colleague, the stars, because we did training before the big games in Salt Lake 2002. And for me, it's every time to be there the favorite place for the training. I mean, the summer. In the summer, and we always want to come back here and the training, but to us it's really expensive because it's the tickets and it's the rent cars. And now when the Utah proposed to invite our teams for the training and stay here the really long times, almost 3 months, we of course will be really happy because we have now the choice for this training. Great, the pool is great, the gym is great, the weather every time is so nice, and and we just want to thank you for everybody who helped for this one, and if maybe someone donated money, I don't know. It's really thank you guys, all of you.
What has it been like? What was it like to leave the country? Was it difficult to get out, or was it easy to be able to get over here due to your status?
It's really to get out from our country. It's not easy because my age and his age, we we can go into the army, but we have how it's called in English, paper, but it's we have a deposit for us, it's the special list from the president, from the Ministry of Military. They will say, yes, okay, you can get out from our country just to go to training, because the sport is the future, our Ukrainian too. We have to still keep going to training. We keep going to the competition. And normally the people, I mean the boys, can get out from the Ukrainian in this moment. Just it's sports, and maybe he have the really good contract, and then it's when we come here in Utah, the first maybe 1 week minimum, and it's whoa. It's everything to change. It's for me, it's needed 1 week minimum to feel the normal life is back again. It's yeah.
Yeah, has it been nice to be here where it's a little less chaotic, a little less scary?
Yeah, it's really nice to be here. Yeah, because I'm happy. And my family is here. My wife and my kids, they will safe. Yeah, it's really happy to be here. It's the normal. Now it's in our country, it's a little bit the better situation, but it's the whole Ukrainian, but it's still really the big problem in the south of Ukraine, and they're still fighting, yeah. And like me and him, we live in the west of Ukrainian. It's more than quiet, but you know this. You never know what can be happen tomorrow morning because everything can change. Like it's too quick, yeah.
Yeah, Dmitry, for you, when you train, is it difficult for you to not think about home? Is it difficult for you to not be worried about what's going on at home?
Actually, no, because no, I think only about my family because I know that everything can happen, and
He can be really simply like quiet because he always think about the life his parents, you know.
yeah. But I'm trying not thinking about this situation because I'm here and I need to training and for future competitions.
How has training been for you? How have you enjoyed being here versus being back in Ukraine? Is it nice to be here?
Yeah, it's wonderful because I like everything is here. In winter there is nice kickers and here too.
Yeah, because we like every winters, like last 5 years maybe, you know, there's like we always come in here, participate and we training in the winter hills, and then we like competing in the Deer Valley. It's always great, and that's why we happy to be here because the summer ramp is great too because it's the smooth, easy, it's the big one, you know. It's like it's really like it's really easy to jump in here.
Most about Ukraine right now, since you've been gone for a while?
I missed about my family and I want to be able to train in Ukraine because this is my home and I want the same like all this to be in Ukraine so everyone can come and train with us.
Do you get the chance to talk to your family on the phone very often? Yeah.
Talking every single day.
What's been maybe outside of maybe the training, the facilities here, what's maybe been your favorite thing about America? I'll go to Coach and then I'll come back over to Dmitry.
For me, it's like it's really nice the place here, and like many times I'm already going to the mountains, just walking around, like just 2, 3, 4 hours. Sometimes I saw the deer, you know. Sometimes it's like it's really interesting, you know. It's like walking around. It's easy, you know. It's like they will not scary, yeah. And then we will go into the lake, Jordan Lake, I think so. It's like something, yeah. Then we will couple times we go in the town, so Salt Lake. We go to the center. It's you know, it's like a really different mountains, different like the life. It's really interesting because it's like no rush. We're looking for the people. It's like everybody slowly. Everybody's like they know it, what they do it, and we took the break and we're going to the 2 days to the Vegas, and then we're going to the San Diego. I took my family and the kids to the zoo, and then we go to the ocean. It's really amazing place. Yeah, it's like really nice and really beautiful. Yeah, you know the U.S. is really big country, and they have like many interesting places when you can go in. Now we have the choice, you know, and then we will try it. Going someone else from the outside, from the Utah. We're going to the Utah, and the next day off we have the plane. We're going to the Utah Canyons. This one, I don't know how it's called. It's like
Zion.
Not Zion because we be already in Zion Canyons, and now we're going to the in Utah Canyons. The name is like Arch Canyon. Arches Canyons.
Yes.
Yeah, this is like next the level to us for our teams. Everybody want to go there and they're watching. Yeah,
You will love it. That's actually my favorite place in all of Utah.
we watch the photos, you know, and it's so beautiful. We have to go there.
It is beautiful. Dmitry, what about you? What's your favorite thing about America so far?
When we was in Los Angeles, I was like in a movie because it's different place, different peoples, not a little bit not like in Ukraine, and I like all U.S. peoples because як будуть привітні?
Friendly.
They are very friendly.
Yeah, in US
And,
it's really friendly people, you know, it's like,
yeah.
yeah.
We can. I like to speak with aerial athletes in US. It's cool to have discussion with them, and so
Because we like, and you know, we US athletes like and the US people, they always the friendly, you know. That's like just we walking around or we on there is, oh, hello, how are you, everything's fine. It's just, and when we come here, the athletes, everybody say, if you need something, just tell us, we can help, it's not a problem. If you want to go with someone and we can show you, you know, it's like it's really, we feels here is like the big family. Yeah, it's just one of the big, huge family. It's like, it's really, really nice, yeah.
Have the American athletes and the Ukrainian athletes been able to learn more things in the sport because they train together?
Yeah, they always, you know, when I beat the athletes, and I remember the Eric Bergust, Joe Park, and Brian Currit, we always be the friendly. Yes, we always talk like a lot. In the training, from the outside on the training, you know, after the competition, before the competition. Of course, it's a sport. We always like try to win, and the U.S. athletes want to win. It's a normal life. It's a normal sport life. But when you go with like from the out of the pool, like we like it's talking every time. Then like and the guys when we hear that, like I told you before, is they'll always try to help us. It's like if we need something, it's not a problem yet. They will always coming and they say, yeah, okay, we can do this, yeah.
Dmitry, what about you? Have you been able to learn from athletes and have they been able to learn from you?
that like I'll be able to learn more of all. It's language, because my language is not good, but I'm trying to.
Keep going better and better.
I want to improve my knowledge of this language, and that this is my goal.
Both of you have very, very good English. I just wanted to say that.
My English is not better than my coach's, but I know
because actually, actually, I tell you proof. I never study English in the school. This everything what I know is watch the movie and talk with the U.S. athletes. You know, it's like this is the like really like a school for me is study. It's my study. Yeah.
Wow, that's very cool. How much English has your English gotten better since you've come here, though, in the last couple of months?
In my view, yes.
Yes.
Yes, because if I learn if I learn English in school, it's not good. I need every time to practice this. I'm started to watching movies. I speak with other athletes and like another peoples in US, and I'm reading books in English. That's, I guess, in the future it helps me to improve my knowledge.
Do you have a favorite American food? Something that you tried this summer that you're like, I've never had this before, but this is very delicious.
I like fast food here, like like panda, zupas, and like I don't know, Domino pizza.
Oh yeah.
I like this.
No, it's like I really like the meat, and I really like the American steaks. You know, it's like yeah, this is like for me, it's really really amazing. They will cooking so nice. You know, when you tasting, it's really nice. Yes, this is like my favorite food. It's like American steak. It's like wow, it's great. Yeah.
What has been the most difficult thing coming from Ukraine to here? What has been the hardest thing to adjust to?
I guess the hardest was to leave my family because about this whole situation. I know I'm trying not to watch news because when I watching this, it makes me nervous and angry. I know that today one rocket has been dropped on the middle of Ukrainian city called Vinnytsia, and at least 20 people died. And in the same time, it makes me angry because, and I'm trying not to watch this news. So it's a huge problem for Ukrainian and for Russia too, but it's useless war. I don't know.
It's a very, very difficult time. And again, we're so grateful that you're here, you're safe, and we wish the best for your family and those who you know and love that are still in the country. We hope that hopefully somehow this is resolved soon. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much to be able to talk to you today.
Thank you guys.
We have had a chance to hear a lot from UFC welterweight Phil Rowe here on the Scoreboard lately. We talked for almost 45 minutes, and right now is the final portion of our sit-down interview with him. From not being scared of anyone to believing he has the most efficient striking in the UFC, Phil Rowe still has a lot to say. Let's take a look. If I'm correct, you haven't fought in front of a big UFC crowd yet, right? Because you've been on fight nights and then a couple pay-per-views when there still weren't any fans. Do you think that that's going to help you, knowing that you've been there before? You've been at MSG. You've been there cornering Jacare. You know what it's like, what the crowd sounds like when you're right there at the cage.
Yes and no. With fighting, man, nothing matters but fighting. So, like, whether I'm mad, I'm sad, I'm happy, emotions don't win fights. My skill set does. So none of that really matters, you know. I'm looking forward to the crowd, you know, because I know I'm one of one in this game. There is not one human being on this entire roster that is relatively close to who I am. There's no one on this entire roster that talks to my culture, you know, that talks to the people where I'm from. I love Francis Ngannou. I show him the utmost respect. Kamaru Usman's one of the baddest men to ever live. But just quite frank, where I'm from, people don't know those guys, you know, in the most respectful, humble way. You go to South Jamaica, Queens, you ask a kid who's Francis Ngannou, like talking about. You ask him who Gervonta Davis is, they'll know who he is. You know, you go to East Flatbush, Brooklyn, you say, hey, do you know who Israel Adesanya is? You know what I mean? So, like, there's nobody in the UFC that's for my culture. And it's just a fact. Like, it's not a knock to none of these guys. So I'm the face of my culture. So I want to be able to walk out in the crowd. I want a Harlem Shake to the cage, and I want people to see me where I'm from. And I want kids to see where I'm from, like, say, man, it's cool. Look at Philly. You know what I mean? Like, I don't got to, the only way out of here isn't basketball or rap. You know, like, I can box, I can do jiu-jitsu, you know, I can do martial arts. That's cool, you know, because culturally, this is still kind of taboo for my people, you know. But I want to bridge that gap. And I know I'm the only guy. So there's tons of guys in the UFC that wear their hat sideways, wear their hat backwards, but they're not, you know what I mean? Like, they're not those guys.
A lot of different strikers in the UFC talk about whole sorts of different things. When you think of Francis Ngannou, you think of the power. When you think of a prime Conor McGregor, you think of the precision. What is it to you? Is it the power? Is it the precision? Or is it something in the middle? How do you throw?
It's the precision, which correlates to power. I'm doing something very, very unique, and I really am. And I don't want to give it away. I mean, I could, because they're not going to drill it anyway. The closest guy that I've seen throw it like me is Calvin Kattar. Calvin Kattar, but he's not consistent with it. He throws it like I throw it sometimes, you know, and I've seen a bunch of good clips of him, like, and he will, and if it clips you, he flatlines guys, you know. And I've actually moved around with Calvin Kattar. He has a really good pull right hand. Shout out to Calvin Kattar. Monster. But I just don't see anybody throwing it like me. And what correlates to power is my length. I have actually an 83-inch reach. The UFC has me down. No, it's cool. The UFC has me down for an 80-inch reach. They put me on the wall, and I was like, man, I couldn't wait to show them my length, because I know John Jones has the longest reach in the UFC. So I knew I was right below him. So I got on the wall, and I was like, and then my coach was like, man, you don't give him all that. Man, what are you doing? My boxing coach, he's old school. Man, you bring them shoulders in, man. I'm like, oh, okay. So they put me on the wall. So when they came, I went here. And he goes, you let them get them 3 inches out there, man. You don't give him that. Yeah, he's an old school boxer, you know. So when they got me on the contender, I was like trapped up like this. But I wanted them to see the 83, you know. I wanted them to see it, 83.5 too almost. But he made me go here, so I kind of tightened up a little bit. And I said, yeah, that's all I got. And he goes, man, they get the rest out there, man. You don't give them everything. So shout out to Kelly Davis.
it seems like fighting isn't the only thing in your life. It seems like life means a lot more to you. There's bigger things in this world, which some people don't really have. Do you think that that's a fair statement? Do you feel like there's more to life than just getting your hand raised in the octagon?
That means the UFC means absolutely nothing. It's very minuscule. It's very trivial. It's a very small fraction of life. This is gonna go by like this. There's so much more that matters. You know, my mom is battling cancer, 2 forms of cancer. It makes me realize how trivial this is. I'll be okay. You know what I mean? Like, my mom is dealing with radiation and chemo at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, that's real. I choose to do this. These guys again from the camera said, this is for my mom, this is for my what? Stop. No, this is for you. And you better figure that out quick, because you're gonna hit a roadblock. Because if I stopped doing this today, my mother would still love me, my daughter would still love me, my wife would still love me. So I'm not doing this for nobody but myself. This is a very small window, and I'm here to do the best I can to capitalize off this position, to put myself and my family in a better position. But is this the end all? God, no.
One last question from me. You mentioned your mother, who I actually wanted to check up on after we turned off the cameras. Your wife, your daughter, how much do they mean to you, and how much have they helped you in your fighting career? How much have they held you down?
A lot, you know. My family, my mom doesn't really, she doesn't dabble in this stuff too much, but she knows what I do. And if I was a garbage man, if I was an astronaut, it doesn't matter, you know what I mean? She'd be there. So she's just cool, proud, and happy to see me on TV, you know? My wife's a dentist. She does really well. She has a practice. My daughter loves me to death. So all this stuff, I have a good life out of here, you know? And this is something that I'm doing for me, you know? My whole life, I saw the angle, and I always took the angle. You know, I always did just enough to get by. You know, I could always talk my way and finesse my way into things. And what passed me by was basketball, my blessing. And this was hard. There's no angle to take. There was no way to finesse this. And I feel like God chose this path for me to make me become a better human being, to equip me mentally for my life. You know, like, I deal with a lot, you know, and the mental fortitude it takes to deal with what I go through. I think MMA and the hardships and adversity that I faced in this, that I didn't face in basketball, that I didn't face in other areas of my life, helps equip me for those times. So I think this is a small portion of my life that God has a plan for me, and He has me doing this to catapult me into something else.
Well, Phil, this has got to be my favorite interview of all time. One of the most inspiring things I've ever heard. Thank you so much for the time.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you for joining us today. On Tuesday, we are taking a trip back over to UOP to check out some of their fun attractions like ziplining and extreme tubing. We will also hear from the young quarterback over in Heber in Mack Kelson. For Brent Martindale, I'm Blake O'Ruling, and we will see you all on Tuesday.